Winner circle! At it again, baby! Happy Monday to everybody! Okie dokie. Go down on the volume here. Alrighty. Well, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone had a good weekend and a good start to the week so far. Welcome back for another Monday All Business episode. I'm gonna pop the topic of the day. What was it? What did I say it was? Associate. I was like additional. Associated. Oh boy. Associated. There we go. Costs. All right, sweet. So yeah, today we're gonna be rocking some games. Ahoy, Mr. Beijing in the house. We're gonna be rocking some games, talking about associated costs, and I imagine that today we'll have a bit of talking. Realized the other day that the majority of my most recent streams have been Fridays or Wednesdays where I don't really have time to talk. You know, last week on Harry Potter, which we'll be doing another episode on Wednesday of Harry Potter again. But haven't really had much time to talk about anything really important. So I figured today I'd kind of dial back, not necessarily dial back the gaming, but just leave myself a little bit more time to talk. So yeah, we'll be talking about associated costs, and what I mean by that is money that you end up having to pay when you make purchases outside of just a price tag. So yeah, we'll dive into what I mean by that details wise, and give some examples and some all the things here in a bit. But we'll at least get our first game going here in the meantime. So got another full stream week here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Depending on how tonight goes, might go extra time as usual. We'll get at least 2 hours in here though, and I'm feeling pretty solid today, so there's a good chance of some stoppage time. I don't feel that unwarmed up, but ooh. Always greater than zero feeling of not being warmed up when you first start. Oh. I also had another sesh with Fortnite tech support today. Think I got my issues resolved on the DCs. So keep your fingers and toes crossed that no more disconnecting in these games, because they supposedly reset a bunch of back-end stuff. And I am really hoping that it worked. But we'll see. Only time will tell, eh? Let's see, first drop of the day. Let's go over here. Just for a lighter start. Hot dropping has not worked out well for me the last week or so. So I'm going to try to be a bit less aggressive. Alright, so to start out on associated costs, again, what I kind of mean by that is money you end up having to pay when you buy stuff that isn't shown on the price tag. easiest example of this is sales tax. So there are a ton of other ones, but as the easiest example to just let everyone know what the heck I mean by associated costs, I come up with these, you know, Aaronisms, these Aaron phrases for stuff. But yeah, associated costs, things like sales tax that you end up having to pay that are not shown until you swipe that card or pull the cash out, whatever it might be. And I think it's important to always keep in mind that those types of things exist, and that is money you're going to have to end up paying. Like if you're saving up for a larger purchase, like maybe a car or even a cell phone, honestly, that's nowadays become a fairly significant purchase. If you're saving up for really anything, maybe over what, like $100 or something, it's important to, I don't know why that broke. Important to know that, again, that money is going to end up coming out of your account. So it's best to not be caught like a deer in the headlights when your total, you get to the end of the buying process and your total ends up being more than you expected. So preparing for that sort of stuff is most definitely a good idea. I heard a dude over here somewhere. I saw a healing thing, like the visual audio for healing. No, don't do that. Even if it's where I belong sometimes. Yep, what should I have those? Don't care about any of these weapons that I have, so I'm not going to upgrade anything. Let's see what they've got in here for us. I do, however, care about this one. I'm not going to upgrade. Did I just double buy those? I think I did. Okay. Yep. Slow down there, Turbo. Yep. Tax and title for a new car. What? Telling me to drive this. Yeah, tax and title for a new car. That's perfect. So it's honestly, that's kind of why I chose this topic for tonight, is I was talking to some friends over the weekend, and you know, one of them was talking about saving up for a new car, blah blah blah, and he kind of threw out a number, and in my head I'm like, for the type of car you're talking about, I don't really know if that's gonna end up being the final cost. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I think it'd probably be good to maybe oversave on that number a little bit and just be prepared for more money than that when you get to the end of the purchase. I mean, sales tax on a car is definitely going to increase the total amount. You might have a transaction fee. A lot of big companies, like cell phone companies and, you know, car retailers and stuff like that, they've got a processing fee or something along those lines where it's just something that you're like, really? More money just to swipe my card? A lot of apartments and living spaces and stuff will charge you an additional fee if you run a credit card. So yeah, there's some of that you can kind of get around by doing an auto pay online or something. Not always, but there are a lot of those just random thanks for your purchase, we'd like more of your money now type of fees. So always over budget is what I'm saying. For larger purchases, always over budget. It'd be much better to get to the end of a buying process and have, you know, a little more than what you'd expected than for the opposite, and to not have enough, or to be kind of caught off guard or whatever. So I don't know why it keeps saying I'm lagging. Looks like it's fine. So yeah, conceptually, that's kind of what I'm getting at. But not only for big purchases does that apply, it applies for a lot of small purchases too. I mean, a phone could be a large purchase, but if you're not a big, you know, spender when it comes to phones, then maybe you're buying a phone that's, you know, lower end, and you might only be dropping $300-400 on it or something. That's not going to be as impactful when it comes to sales tax, but a lot of them, again, big phone company stores, speaking as a former big phone company employee, a lot of companies like that will have a processing fee, no matter what model or what kind of phone you're getting. I really hope there's not a dude in here like beating me. Yeah, a lot of them, regardless, are going to try to hit you with some other nonsense. Some of them you can weasel them out of it. A lot of the time you can't. So save extra on like I said, the big purchases, but even the small purchases, if you're budgeting for stuff like for me, concerts. I go to a lot of concerts, and go to a lot of concerts, and nowadays the fees are just astronomical. Any concert goer could tell you. You've got sales tax, there's a service charge, there's a processing fee. There's all kinds of stuff they tack onto that. So, you know, you got to be prepared for that. Me, at least, I budget for concerts. I mean, I probably have budgeted, like, I don't know, $200 or so per month for concerts. I know that sounds a little ridiculous, but there'll be months where I'll go to 3 concerts, and if they're big, you know, they're all big artists, it could definitely be over $200. And I always caution people to budget, you know, over budget as opposed to under budget. So again, if I get to the end of a month and I'm like, I haven't gone to any concerts, well, my budget, that's like $200 that I now have extra left over at the end of that month. Just because, again, I budgeted ahead for worst case scenario, if you will. Yeah, I better do this. I better do this. And I also going to do this. Alright, yeah. Nothing else, just for the arrows, I will take it. I got another one here. Siphon. Ooh, I probably should have done the bow, but we are endgame here, basically. And I have 31, so that's nice at least. But yeah, so I budget worst case scenario. Oftentimes, I have a lot of money left over in certain categories, but it might be a month where I have other expenses that I didn't really anticipate. You know, maybe I took a vacation or something and had more food costs than normal, or maybe I had to, you know, buy some clothes or something, which I don't really budget for. Oh no. a very good build fighter. I feel you, buddy. Takes time. Not that I'm that great either, but I can tell he's struggling. But yeah, so there will be months where you have some unexpected costs, and it's nice to have some buffer in your budget where you're over budgeting again in some other categories, so that you don't have to be stressed when those random costs and expenses do arise. So again, going back to the concerts thing, I try to make sure that I am prepared for, yeah, all right, this is a $45 concert, but I know that by the time I get to the end of the checkout, it's going to be a $68 concert. So on the front end, it's good to account for some of that. I should not have won that fight, but I did. Is it done giving me these stupid tips? Let's try something to reset my settings when I did this tech support thing. I need to try to go fix that after this game. Maxed on all that. How many extra splashes? 2, 3, boom. Those up. Probably should have popped these first, but... oh boy. Here. Oh wow, good shot. Alright, I'm gonna back out of here. That is his wall. Get the heck out of here. Big time out of here. Behind me. Missed. Go, go, go. Close. I was in trouble that whole fight, so it doesn't surprise me. Not bad, not bad. Good warm-up game. Go back to lobby on all these games today. So yeah, continuing on the concerts thing. I budget for extra taxes and fees. I also budget for, stuff like booze, or even if you're not a drinker, like bottles of water that you might have to pay $4 for inside of a concert venue. Depending on where the concert's at, like what city. A lot of places have free parking, but a lot of downtown areas you'll have to pay for parking, so you can factor some of that in there. In my travel expenses, like Ubers, parking, gas, I kind of lump all those together and budget for a little additional gas expense, because I might every once in a while have to pay, $1.50, $4 for parking or something like that. So that again helps give you a little bit of a buffer for your overall budget. Venue parking, I mean, there are places here in Denver that you might be dropping $25 to park at if you want primo parking, which not everybody wants that. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. If it's like raining, or if it's snowing or bad weather of some sort or something like that, I'll sometimes do it just so I don't have to mess with the nonsense. And obviously, I'm probably the minority on that front. But every once in a while, it's nice to kind of treat yourself. And if you have money budgeted, then it doesn't necessarily hurt. Okay, what was this? The control props. I want to get rid of that. The tips. Like, bro, I played this game for... Okay, here we go. Apply. No more contextual tips. Yeah, so I'll honestly pump that number up, what I budget for stuff like concerts, or, I mean, maybe... I mean, fill in the blank with a different hobby, you know? There's certain fees if you're in a league for sports or something like that. You might have a weekly cost or a monthly cost or something like that, but there might be an annual fee, or you might play a tournament a couple times a year and there might be extra tournament fees and stuff. So just think about any associated costs with things that you're budgeting for and try to factor those into that number you allot monthly. Where do I want to go with this game? Restaurant. I think that's another, you know, just kind of on the sports stuff like that. I mean, a lot of that stuff will have a registration fee that you have to pay yearly. And there are tons of things that have some sort of an annual fee. I mean, my gym membership has an annual fee. But I take that annual fee number and split it up month to month so that I'm kind of preparing myself to have to pay it when it comes around once a year. But back on Mr. Bishing's comment, on my car expenses category of my budget, I budget for my car registration every year, and that's kind of what came up with my buddy who's, you know, looking at a new car. Depending on where you live, some of that stuff can be really expensive. I mean, my car registration is north of $500 every year. So that's one that could come out of the blue and really cause you some problems, depending on kind of where your budget is at and stuff like that. Just hurry. Almost there. That. This. Okay, easy enough. Yeah, car registration is kind of one thing that I was recommending. Like, yeah, you definitely should set aside a bunch of extra money. You really don't want to get yourself in a bad position where you just bought this car and now you're trying to scrape up the registration fee, and then you're behind on your budgeting for, you know, a couple weeks or whatever. So be prepared for that stuff. Not only initially, I think it's usually more the first year that you register and whatnot. Obviously, you got to get plates and stuff like that you don't have to get every year. I'm actually going to do this. Okay, not a bad loadout. See, that's one that will decrease over time after you've paid that initial plate investment and things like that, but it's worrying sometimes when I hear about people making purchases, kind of lowballing what the end cost might end up being. So, be prepared. Be prepared. People love to try to grab your money any way they can. Oh, nice. Saban was actually not hitting too bad that last game. Absolutely. It's a tough one. I mean, I'm gonna do this. I've actually been digging these lately. There's so much healing around here. Oh yeah, I can't pass this up. Dang it. Go over here. Another big associated cost I wanted to make sure that I talked about is tipping. Feels like the more time goes on, the more, you know, places have a tip option and people are expecting a tip, and, you know, I at least don't really mind. Like, if I think it's something ridiculous that they're suggesting that I tip on, I won't, but for the most part, like, a lot of the stuff that people aren't used to tipping on, like takeout orders and like stuff like Chipotle, you know, restaurants like that. A lot of stuff that I'm kind of like, I have been shopping here for years and I never have been asked to tip. They'll give you like 10, 15, 18%, and like I might throw a 10% on there. I'm like, again, this is just for me with my budget and my spending habits. I'm like, this kid probably needs this $2.50 more than I do. So I will do it, but not all of them. But yeah, I mean, especially at restaurants and Uber, you know, taxi service type of drivers, I at least always tip on those, so I try to make sure that when I'm about to click that confirm Uber button, I'm prepared for the true number that I'm about to see at the end of the ride. You know, I might only tip $2, $3, $4 depending on the ride and stuff like that and the level of service, but I'll throw them a little extra. But I try to, again, make sure that I'm prepared for that. I'm expecting it, so I'm not pissed when the time comes. I don't even care about my health right now. I'm sure that I'll find a way to heal some. Once I get up here, and if nothing else, I've got these thingy-majiggers. No. Yeah, this will help a little bit. Okay. Is that a person? Or an NPC on the back? Not going to be a very happy camper if those kids are teaming, and that is, in fact, a real person. Yep, I'm just going to pop all of these. Grab this. Get the heck out of here. Ouch. Impressive shot. Can I please sprint? Dude, get off me. Get off me! Bro, this is out of control. You're such a dick. I have max sprint and a hammer, and I still can't get away from this kid with a pistol. That's unbelievable. Anyways, so, where was I? Yeah, stuff like tips, I try to keep that in mind with a lot of my purchases. And you can often circumvent that a lot with buying stuff online. You know, if you do takeout at a restaurant as opposed to dining in, I at least will only typically tip like 10%, maybe a couple dollars, depending on where I'm getting takeout from. If you're buying, you know, $22 worth of food and you're eating in the restaurant, I mean, you're looking at $4.40 tip for 20%, or, you know, 10% would be $2.20. So a couple dollars here and there on stuff like daily purchases like that can really add up. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind before you know, pull in line for Starbucks. You just might get lured into tipping $1 or $2 or something. So again, factor that into your budget and your different categories and purchases and whatnot. Sometimes the tips don't even go to the employees. Yeah, for sure, I know that. It's pretty wild, honestly. Or it might be like split or something. That's definitely a good thing to keep in mind as well. A lot of places will make you pool tips also, which isn't necessarily bad. I mean, it's kind of like spreading the love. I know restaurants will often split tips between the servers and the cooks, and the cooks are certainly a necessary and very important part of a restaurant. So, yeah, I mean, before you go and smack a 25% tip because your server's hot, just know that it ain't all going to her. I also try to tip in cash a lot of the time. If I've got $2 or $3, that can help for tax purposes for servers, and if you're giving somebody cash, there's less likeliness that it's going to get split across the pool, the tip pool. So, good things to be conscious of, at least. Trying to think of some other ones. A lot of the time, depending on you know what you're doing medical expense wise, a lot of the time a place will make you sign like a new, or do like a new patient application fee. You don't even see it sometimes until you get your first bill. But I recently just had like a new introduction to like a medical related expense, and they my first appointment was like twice what all the rest of them have been. So, you know, before you go doing something like that, it could be a good idea to investigate whether or not there is or is not a new patient or new whatever. There's often with apartments like an application fee in addition to your deposit that you just never get back. Like, hey, thanks for wanting to live here, and I know you're going to pay us, I mean, God, however much it is, $12,000 or more or less. I know you're going to pay us that much this year, but in order to get started with us, we're going to need an additional extra $200 or $50 or whatever it is. So that's part of the reason that I try not to change apartments and living spaces every year. I've got a lot of friends that will do, you know, it seems like they're in a new place every year. And I mean, if you're changing for a good reason, then that's fine. And moving was actually a really big one that I wanted to talk about, associated costs related to. But like, if you're changing apartments every year, next thing you know, after 4 years, you've racked up $1,000 of just, you know, application fees for that you literally get no benefit out of, outside of now you can pay them rent. So when you're going in to make some of those larger decisions, like where you live, it is really important to keep that stuff in mind and not constantly be chasing like cheaper rent, cheaper rent, cheaper rent. Because not only with living spaces do you often have like a security deposit and or a application fee, you got a lot of additional costs with moving. You know, for me at least, I do all my own myself. At least I have. The next time I move, I might honestly buy a moving service. Just depends on the situation, where my finances are at that point. But even if you're doing it all yourself and you have family helping you that you're not compensating, like with my buddies, I'll do pizza and beer on me or something if you help me move this weekend. I mean, that stuff costs money. So not only do you have some of that, but you've often got to rent a truck, or mileage on your car, or taking time off of work. That's a big one for me, is I always try to overlap my apartments so that I have at least a couple of days where I don't have to just move out all in one day, because my goodness, does that sound stressful. I think I've probably done that at some point in the past, but it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress outside of the normal moving stress that I personally am not trying to deal with. So I always overlap my apartments a little bit. So I usually try to factor that into the costs of, like, well, I'm going to be paying double rent for a week, which is at least $100 or $200, no matter what your rent is normally. And we're off. Okay. Eased. Boom. Should have completed that try. Maybe no. Of course, 5 away. So yeah, for those reasons, I mean, I try to stay in one place for at least 2 years typically. And that's not always going to be the case for everybody. I mean, if you have a major life change, like maybe you know, have a significant other all of a sudden, and you're going to go from a bachelor pad to a, you know, a more suited for 2 people living space, you got to do what you got to do. But at least for me, without any major changes, I try to stay where I can, just to avoid the headache and the additional expenses, the additional costs that come along with switching. Because, I mean, if you're burning some PTO, I at least have a really high value on PTO. I mean, obviously there's not a dollar amount you can put on it, but for your overall life satisfaction, I really try to protect my PTO as much as I can. So, if you're moving all the time, you're burning a bunch of PTO, you're gonna have to hire movers, or, you know, convince your homies, likely with some sort of a financial compensation. Maybe it's not cash, but food, drinks, whatever. Maybe, at least for me, a U-Haul. I always get a U-Haul whenever I move, and those are not free, that is for sure. Nowadays, they're typically not too terribly bad, as long as you plan it out and knock the U-Haul portion out in a day. But a lot of extra money associated with that stuff, so it's smart to not constantly be trying to switch living spaces and chase like the cheapest rent, because a lot of time it ain't worth it. Okay. Just open these for the XP. I'm good on all that stuff right now. A little extra brick here. I'm in the zone, and I'm about to be fairly central in the zone, so that's good news. Worthless. Let's do one of these. I haven't done one in a while, my loot kind of sucks. Before I do that, finish getting all these. In retrospect, I really should have stopped trying to run away from that kid that was shooting me that last game, but I felt like, you know, he's got a pistol. I can probably get away from this guy, and I was, unfortunately, gravely mistaken. And I'm kicked. Oh my goodness, dude, this is so dumb. Lovely. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture of it this time, because they keep asking me, like, can you send me a screenshot? That means I am playing a couple more Fortnite games, and I'm done. With Fortnite, at least. At least I really was kind of down bad there. 0 kills and not great loot. Whatever. Epic, why do you hate me? Like, what else could there be, you know? I'll just keep grinding through this. Couple more games, and then if it happens again, I'm definitely done. So yeah, at least for me, I've only ever lived in apartments post-college. Which, man, college. You want to talk about associated costs. That is a really big one. I could probably do a whole episode on college associated costs, textbooks, you know, oh god, just registration fees, all that nonsense. So you could look for this stuff in a lot of your purchases, no matter really what stage of life you are in. But for me, again, I've always lived in apartments, but when I think about associated costs that come along with home buying, it's one of the biggest reasons that I haven't done it, while I could have afforded it a long time ago. I mean, another part of that reason is I work in travel sales. I'm single, so I understand that part of it. But regardless, there can be a ton, like an unlimited amount, practically, of home ownership associated costs from the very beginning of the process, even all the way through your, you know, your general ownership for the rest of eternity. Some of those are closing costs on a home, which is essentially your realtor's commission check. Like, hey, thanks for helping me through this process. Here's $3 grand. I don't know how much it is because, again, I've never really done it, but I've heard some of them can be, you know, pretty up there. Yeah, I don't know what the rule is. Maybe, what, 1% of the sale price of the home? I feel like, you know, I might be just making that up, but I feel like that might be, there might be some accuracy to that. But yeah, I mean, a closing cost, inspection fees, property taxes, you know, when you see your mortgage, there is far more to home ownership than your mortgage fee. And I think that a lot, you know, I imagine a lot of new homeowners get themselves in over their head a lot quicker than they would expect. Just because there is so much to consider with, again, home ownership that you aren't necessarily budgeting for. I mean, you could buy your first home and, you know, have some of those closing costs and things you weren't really expecting, and then that responsibility for that property and the house is now all on you, bud. So if your AC goes out, or you have some plumbing issues, or whatever, obviously there's insurance for a lot of that stuff, but if you have to upgrade or replace or whatever your AC, I mean, I work in the HVAC industry, it is not cheap. You're not talking about a $1,200 repair. Depending on your situation, it could be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you just get screwed on by timing. Because, I mean, you know, unless you inspect every inch and every appliance in your house, you're not going to know when your washing machine is going to go out. You don't really know if it's 8 years old or 12 years old or 8 months old. So that's something that could easily just shit out on you. And, well, sorry, Mr. Homeowner. It's time to be an adult here and pick up the tab. Oh boy. Clapped. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hi there. I'm probably gonna get dumpstered or disconnected from this game. I'll still buy it. probably pick something at least. Oh no. Shouldn't have moved. But I did. Oops. Missed that. Oh boy, this fight sounds scary. Nice. Didn't know what hit him. I'm just gonna pop this. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Ooh, I guess there's a llama over here, so there's probably going to be a bunch of big pots. That's probably the smarter move. And actually, beyond that, don't really need to be carrying grenades right now. Definitely think there's a guy back here. I'm just going to ignore him for now. So yeah, be very, very, very mindful of associated costs when you are, you know, home shopping. Because that could very quickly turn into a pretty scary situation. I do think it's important to, you know, obviously, again, like I said, it's very tough and maybe damn near impossible even to, like, inventory everything about your home, like how old's the AC, how old's the washer, how old's the dryer, blah, blah, blah. It would be very tedious, very difficult to inventory all of that, but it could be good things to make note of, just so, again, you don't get screwed. Oh, I'm maxed on that ammo. I was like, alright, pick that up. Don't get screwed, folks. Don't get screwed. So yeah, I mean, that's probably... College is a great example, but I mean, I think homeownership is probably the best example that I can give on associated costs and how serious they can be. So be sure you are prepared. It's again part of the reason that I have not home bought. In addition to my lifestyle and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm gonna do this. Actually, I'm gonna try this. Seems like this could be a good little mixture of guns. Do these get gold? They do. Break this out and get over here and get this chest. Those. Definitely nice. Yes, yes, yes. Be prepared. I guess to go even further on, you know, home purchasing and whatnot, I think that it's good to be proactive about some of those costs. I mean, something that's really, really big in the HVAC world is a concept called preventative maintenance. And I believe they have that same concept in the auto industry. But preventative maintenance is essentially somebody coming to check your, you know, whatever, your HVAC system or maybe your plumbing, a couple times a year. Some of them even try to get you on a monthly, which I don't know that that's fully necessary. A lot of service-based contractors will do things like change filters, and that, you know, that's kind of just up to the individual of, do I care enough about air quality to get a filter changed on a monthly basis? I mean, it's definitely a good idea to do a couple times a year. This is strictly my opinion. And while I'm somewhat educated in HVAC, I'm not like an air quality expert when it comes to the science and data and stuff like that. So anyways, a lot of those preventative maintenance things are helpful. They will likely try to sell you on stuff like monthly, you know, maintenance checkups and things like that. So, you know, not telling you to do the platinum package every time. But that can be a good idea because they can catch problems before problems become problems. And that could save you, you know, you might be able to get a part replaced for $600 as opposed to replacing your whole HVAC system for $6,500. So preventative maintenance and stuff like that, I think, is definitely a smart move as long as you can afford it. But I think that's, again, why it's a good idea to really build yourself a good financial foundation before you make some of those big moves, so that you can walk into that house and be like, yeah, give me the preventative maintenance, give me the, you know, maybe a new unit. You know, could you, like, I'm gonna have somebody come in here and tighten up all the pipes, replace stuff that needs replaced, so that way, you know, I can pay $4 grand now and know that I'm likely taken care of for the next couple of years on some of this structural integrity and, you know, essential components of your new house. Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, it's far better to wait a couple extra years and save up money to make sure that you're setting yourself up for long-term success in your new home. I mean, that can apply to things, again, like plumbing and appliances, your roof. I mean, shingles are something that is somewhat frequently replaced, and as a person who used to do like a shingles service on my own, I only did a couple of houses, but I did, you know, residential landscaping construction, and I definitely did a couple of shingles jobs. It's not cheap, and I'm sure it's a lot more expensive when some, you know, high school bozo isn't the one doing it. If you hired a real service, it'd probably be a lot more than what I charged, and I still charged a, you know, a somewhat significant number to go do it. Like, day and a half of manual labor. I ain't doing that for free, dog. So yeah, you got to make sure you kind of have maybe even a separate savings account or something like that when you're a new home buyer, and kind of plan for some of those things that it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Like, shingles don't last forever. An HVAC unit does not last forever. You're going to have to replace it at some point. So, ooh. So yeah, be prepared. Same sort of thing can apply to your car too. I mean, a lot of car dealerships have preventative maintenance plans. I haven't done one yet, but I think that it'd probably be a good idea for me to do it. I drive a lot for my job. I drive a lot, especially in the summers, for stuff like camping, festivals, yada yada yada, hikes up in the mountains. Owning a car when you're a mountain goer is an additional risk outside of just the normal risk of hopping in a car, you know? Your brakes crap out on you when you're on a 6% decline out of the mountains, you're in trouble. Where back in Indiana, I mean, obviously that was not ever a concern. Like, yeah, your car's important, but doesn't have that additional life-threatening aspect to it. So I've looked into preventative maintenance and stuff, and I mean, I get my car serviced twice a year, usually, about like I should. And that sort of preventative maintenance can keep you from having a breakdown, you know. Same kind of thing with your home stuff. Is a breakdown is what really causes a big issue, where you might have to replace something that could have previously been repaired. So yep, factoring that stuff in advance, being smart with what you're buying, all good things, all good things. I really do not want to push anybody right now. I'd like to at least get top 10 here, so I'll maybe wait till one person dies and then kind of re-engage. Yeah, I think anytime you venture in any sort of a new path, there are potential associated costs. I mean, if you start playing a new sport, you might realize, like, oh, I've got to get, you know, new cleats or some new equipment, or should not be in here. Double box here. Do the old peekaboo trick. Just get up in the tree. He is. Oh, he's not up in the tree. Dang. Probably gonna get double teamed here. I just burnt 300 of my brick. Put the gun down. Put the rockets down. Fight me like a man. Fight like a man. Fight me like a man, huh? I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna take your ass to jail. Yep. How you like that? Jerk face. Load that up. Can I please build what I'm actually trying to build, dude? Jeez. Stupid grid. I see you back there. Wait this out just a hair here. Okay. Top 5. Close in with this storm. Anybody behind me. Like, idiots. Should be able to maybe get a pop in here. Oh no. 25. There we go. Yep, figured I could at least hit something on that guy. Oh no, please go, please go, please go. Just gonna go up one here. This up. here. This is I swear. Thank you, isn't it? Good shot. That was a bad shot. Dead. Oh, I should not have done this. Why did I do this? Okay. This guy's build fighting like me. I think he has me trapped though. I'll go back in here. Come on, jump up here. Dead! Shit on! Gonna be in trouble here on builds in a second. Where's that building coming from? Yep, like up above me. Aha. These rockets are kinda tired. Really don't have anything. That's the bad part of this loadout that I have. I don't have anything to shred through builds, really. Not quickly, at least. Guy's probably gonna try to rocket me down any second. I suck. Wow. He must have just headshot me for like 175. I whiffed big time. That's my fault. That was a good game, though. Good couple build fights there. I can't be too upset about that. All right, I'm going to use the restroom really quick. BRB. that was a good competitive game to end out, go out on. I want to see if I can... Excalibur and Mounted. I really don't like either of those. I'll do those another time. Start deciphering the Rift Gate coordinates. I could probably at least do that one. Cipher. These are all bugged. I don't know why. Oh, I mean, that's probably just part of the cipher theme. Visual intel. Oh, okay. Upgrade vehicles. Falcons, I really don't want to do those. Okay, let's see here. Drive a vehicle in different named locations. That one's going to take forever. What was that first one I looked at? Let me see. Okay. So this one is up at the... Oh, probably in that ice cave area, it looks like. I'm going to drop in and just focus on that. Maybe some of these other daily and stuff. Bust through a closed door. Easy enough, eh? Eliminate opponents with bows or DMR. Okay, so bust through a closed door and get this beginning of that new quest done. I'll do those this game. Alright, so I think when I last left off with associated costs, I was talking about like sports, or really kind of anything new that you venture into. Even on a smaller scale, a lot of the time we'll have associated costs with them. And not even necessary ones. A lot of the time, at least for me, if I get into a new hobby or something like that, I don't ball out on the equipment and whatever stuff needed, but I'm at least spending some sort of money on it, you know. Like if I started playing racquetball or something like that, I'm just throwing something random out there, I'd probably go buy a couple of racquetballs and a couple of rackets. Which is not going to be that significant, but I think a lot of people like me are hobby hoppers, where I'm constantly getting involved in new stuff. I mean, gloving is a great example. When I started gloving, I probably spent, I don't know, 40 bucks on a pair of gloves, 20 bucks on some replacement batteries. As time went on, I kind of got better and got more into it. I bought a pair of gloves that's like 150 bucks. It had all these crazy features and stuff like that. Just because I wanted to kind of upgrade my setup and try something new out. What up, Mr. Taco? See, I mean, I think that hobby hopping can be very expensive very quickly when you factor in associated costs. So, I'm obviously not saying don't hobby hop. I have a lot of fun hobby hopping. But make sure you're prepared. That's, kind of the theme for all this stuff, is I'm not necessarily saying do this or don't do this. But be aware and prepared for what you might be getting yourself into when you're doing really much of anything. Alright, we'll swap these. We'll swap that. We'll go with this. Is there a door anywhere here? Like, I will legit join a new game if I die quickly without busting through a door, just to bust through a door. Okay, not a bad loadout already. Okay, now focus, Aaron, focus. Stupid thing over here. Boom. 20,000 XP. Nice. That helps. Nope, no. this first? And one of these. Yeah. What you got for me? Primal Stink? I normally want that, but I'm not really trying that hard this game. Okay, maybe at this house back here there's a door. Hobby hopping, one of my toxic traits that costs me a lot of money. Yep. I'm right there with you. Like I said a bit ago, I most certainly am guilty of that myself. How do I get over here? Whatever, I'm just gonna do this. There's gotta be a door that I can bust through over here, right? Yeah, so talking about associated costs tonight, and we've talked about housing in college a little bit, concerts, how there's just a lot more cost than you initially anticipated a lot of the time. Even eating out, like tipping and stuff like that. Hobby hopping was just the next subject that I went to. Bust through a door, Aaron. Bust through a door before you forget. Before you forget. Boom. Yeah, hobby hopping is just the next thing on the list. It can most certainly add up. I mean, a lot of the time you just don't realize, like, I'm not normally like I've got to have the best of everything type of person. I'm like a middle ground where, you know, if something is medium quality, medium cost, that's usually more up my alley. Some people are like just bougie as hell, and they are. I'm gonna stop going. I've not been playing that great with it tonight. I really wanted it. Some people are like, every time they get into a new hobby, they're like, yeah, you know, the normal racquetball rackets are 25 bucks, like the ones you get at Walmart and stuff, but man, you can get a really nice one with a nice custom grip for 120 bucks. It's really not that bad. And I'm like, yeah, 120 bucks isn't all that big of a deal, but for a racquetball racket, like, this is a hobby. And I mean, if you're playing all the time, don't get me wrong, you know, I ain't trying to like hobby shame or anything like that, but if you're a hobby hopper and you're going to be onto something new in, you know, the next 3 months, just budget it. Find out if you really like it long term before you go dropping hella money on the top of the line equipment, buying a new pair of shoes for it, and blah, 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 blah. I think some people get caught up in it worse than others. And again, my moral of my story is just be mindful and expect associated costs so that you're not caught off guard. Well, I'm pretty much just gonna die in the storm this game anyways, on purpose, so don't you worry about running away. I know, premium content. I'm sorry, guys. Well, just in case I can salvage something out of this. I'll pop that, and let's get the fuck out of here. Got a long way to go. Get out of here, chicken. Learning to slow down with it. I'm that person. Well, yeah, dude. And I mean, like I said, I ain't trying to throw shade anywhere or like tell people what to do. Like, hobbies are related to life enjoyment, which is very important. So I mean, I try new shit all the time, but I try to wait until I really like something before I full send it. Like I kind of said earlier, initially when I got into gloving, I was like, I think I'll really like this. And I bought like a $40 pair of gloves and used that for my first, you know, year and a half maybe, and then eventually ended up buying this really fancy $150 pair of gloves and stuff like that. But that's because I took the time to kind of make sure that I really liked it and, you know, kind of research the options out there, yada yada. I'm still demoralized over me getting absolutely shit on that end of that last game when I had the first shot on the guy. Dude hit me for like, it had to have been like 176 or maybe even more than that, honestly. Like, it was a big hit. For him, right? Good for him. Okay, use these augments. More parkour, sure. Go, go, go. I don't have too bad of a loadout here, but I do only have 139 health, so I need to make sure I focus on that. I'm absolutely not going to win this one because I got second last game. Okay, now we're good there. Yeah, you can start learning a piano and go buy a grand piano. Yeah, that's exactly the stuff I'm talking about. Like, baby steps, baby steps. And I mean, if you're financially prepared for some of that stuff, then run it, dude. Like, I mean, you know, it's whatever you want to end up doing. But I think at least if you're not financially prepared, like, baby steps. I don't know where these kids are at, so I'm going to box up until I find out. I probably have far. Oh, I do have far as heck to go. Come on. Bop City on the radio right now. No, this is the only one that's not protected audio. That's right. Let's see Mobile. Yeah, I make no promises. I think I can switch seats. Augments. Yeah. Launched myself. That actually kind of worked out. In a good way, though. Still a vault here? Bet you there's a dude camping it. Saw footsteps in there. Not falling for your tricks today, sir. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, I see you down there. See where this... Oh, if this guy comes up that ridge, then I'm in trouble. Scare the crap out of me, boar. Oh, there you go. Not really have the map right now. Top 5. That's good. Just that up. Okay. Well, there. Oh boy. Where's that kid at? Marked, lovely. I see you in there. I'm really stuck out bad now. With 180 builds, or brick at least. Ooh, roasted him. Sure he's not still up there. Oh no, did not want to do that. Oh no. I don't know if I'm in or not. Nice. Infantry rifle fan for sure. Big headache tonight. Hate to hear that, dude. That sucks. Yeah, do your thing, man. Hydrate. Head massages. Neck massages. Ibuprofen. All the good things. Oh, this guy's gonna roast me. really could have a lot more builds if I didn't just waste them all of the time. My sporadic building. Where's this guy at? Oh, it's 1v1. Alright. Here's my redemption chance. I have nothing that I can really make a play with, which is unfortunate. Except for my guns. I need to probably just push this kid. Nope. Go back over there. Got one more metal build. Oh boy. Thought I could mantle on that. I probably should have built first. Silly. Ooh, I thought he almost dropped down on me. That was a stupid trade. No! That was my chance. Oh, we're over water now, dude. I'm so screwed. Can you just stop being annoying? See him. Yep. 10 kills. That's a good fight, though. That's where that maintaining high ground can really be the dagger. That was really close. Bummer. All right, off to Rocket League we go. I'm going to switch things over here real quick. So I will be back in 30 seconds. Sweet. Well, we got through Fortnite with only one disconnect, and I'm immediately going to have to get back on with tech support after this session, unfortunately. Get some more water, let my heart rate come down a bit. Man, that was intense. So frustrating, 2 second places. I should have hit him when he glided, really honestly, kind of unnecessarily. I whiffed. But the character animations make it really honestly kind of hard to hit those shots, so I don't feel too bad about that. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh! I don't think I've played any competitive Rocket League for a bit, so let's see if we can get warmed up enough to the point where... Well, maybe I did. I guess on... what was it, Friday? No, it was probably last Monday, now that I think about it. I try to play until I get, as usual, at least one play worthy of clipping. In here. Nice. And then everything else we will adjust as the night goes on. Oh, season ends in 1 day. Alright, so as long as I don't blow through the rest of my diamond rank. I mean, I'd like to try to end this season at diamond 2 at least, so I'll risk it. If I get dumpstered for like 5 straight games and go down to like diamond 1, 2, I'll probably just call it, but see how we stack up here. Ooh, another player canceled. That usually means it's gonna be a long queue. So must be champion to advance in rank. No chance. Trying to think of any final associated costs. Oh, Mr. Tipsy Taco mentioned this one earlier, and I skipped over this message. Camping stuff will be the death of me. That is most certainly true. camping can be very, very expensive, especially depending on what degree you want to take it to. But that reminded me of camping festivals, and I will talk about camping festivals and vacations here in a second, and some of those, associated costs. Ooh. Probably had that if he had it. Dang it. I misread both of those. It's okay. Probably should have gone there, and definitely sooner on the second one, the one I actually attempted. Ooh, close. I really didn't think I had a shot there. I just was kind of freaking him out and at least getting away. Well, that was a great pass. Well done, sir. Ooh, what a good block. Way early, baby. Oh, crap. And then a day late and $1 short. Probably should have had a little bit more power on that kick out. But I don't really take responsibility for that one. Dang. About to blast that. Good control. I like it. Nope, definitely didn't. Good stuff. Go for it. Dude, you're killing me right now, kid. Crap. Go in! Nice! Love it! that was close. Please just get out of my face. Nice. What a save, dude. That's not great, but well, the result is I need to be a little bit higher there. Let's go! That was such a sloppy shot. I want to watch that again. It went in, so that's all that really matters, but it did not look pretty. Yeah, come on, we got this. Ooh, close! Make sure we don't get turned on here. That shot on. Yeah. Oh, boys, you got that. Please tell me you got that. Please tell me you got this. Clear. Please get there. Do this to me. No! Come on, this is a hit the ground. Let's go. Woo! Pretty intense. I'll take it. Need those dubs. I'm gonna get back up to Diamond 2. I need to pee again really quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Here. Oh, there we go. Was partying. All right, so vacation, and again, what kind of spurred me on the vacation stuff was music festivals, associated costs. Is those big type of trips, kind of like I was talking about with concerts earlier. There can be a lot of those parking, service fee, whatever fee type of costs incurred during a vacation. I mean, a lot of the time you might want to Uber a couple of times. There, you might. You might have a tip option on your Airbnb. Everything, of course, is more expensive on a vacation. Your food likely depends on where you're going and whatnot, but your food, drinks, at festivals at least, food and drinks are really expensive. Camping festivals, I mean, and really, I guess any music festival. But ooh, that might have a chance. Oh, buddy, from the skies. Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like a lot of people likely fall into this trap of like, oh yeah, my camping or my music festival expense for this trip is the flights. Oh no. The flights, the ticket, transportation costs, if you're maybe driving, hotel, if you're, you know, it's not a camping festival or whatever. There's a ton of little extra stuff they try to get you on. A ton of it. So, always, again, better to set aside more money than less for any type of vacation. And in my case, often, you know, most of my vacations are festival or concert related or something. I try to make sure I reserve a lot of extra money for that sort of stuff. That was kind of a lackluster play. Pass to him. Nice. Ooh, nice. Boom. Right between them. Love it. Let's go. So yeah, set aside that extra money ahead of time for vacations, festivals, trips, and stuff like that. So when you get back, you're not like, oh my goodness, I spent so much more money than I thought I was going to. Like, expect yourself to spend a lot of money on vacations. So then it's not so demoralizing when you get home and you look at your bank account. Bounce shot. Ooh, he got it above me. Nice. Should have numbers advantage here. Oh wow, what a clear. Back in. Shoot. I was trying to hit that up in the air off that corner. I just hit it a little bit too high. Go in. I'm in trouble here. Very low boost. Good. Good. Quite get the angle I needed. That's a good pass, though. I'm gonna throw somebody there, but I probably should have noticed that. Doing this back up. Maybe, oops, if I get to it, shouldn't have gone. Please don't score that. Okay, would have been really bad. Nice, that was huge. Knock some time off the clock. Hope Hopefully win it 2-1 here. Oh, the double tap on accident! Oh! Shouldn't have said on accident. It looked like that was what I was trying to do. I was kind of trying to play a bounce shot there, so not that it wasn't what I was trying to do. Just go exactly how I had planned. Get in. I should have left it go. Come on. 1 second, boys. Yeah, it's in the bag. Knock it down, let's go. Stomach's killing me, I need to eat. So what I will do is go back to the lobby, smack some DoorDash in. And I'll finish up the old topic for tonight. Reaching close to the end of the 2 hours, and Rocket League's going pretty good, so I'll probably rock a little while longer, but these Mondays definitely wear on me. A full work day, and then let's see here. And then a stream, especially when it's sweaty. Okay. So yeah, that pretty much concludes most of what I wanted to talk about when it comes to associated costs. I think, again, you'll see this in a lot of different areas that you're spending your money. So try to make sure you're accounting for that. If you're budgeting, hopefully you're budgeting. If you're not budgeting, you should probably start budgeting. But good to be just aware of some of those extra things that could come up. Account for them so that, again, your hobbies, your vacations, your living expenses, all of that stuff, where you're spending your money isn't costing you a lot more than you initially anticipated. It's very, very easy to look at a price tag and think, oh yeah, this thing costs $59.99 or, $22.99 a month. But if it's something that can have associated costs, that number can very quickly increase. And I would, especially regarding the living situation, associated costs, I think that's something that's very, very, very important to keep in mind. You might try to pick a cheaper place out of town that's further from your work, and without even noticing it, you might decrease your rent $100 a month and increase your gas and the wear and tear on your vehicle and just your time and stuff like that. You might increase all of that for a very, very low cost just up front. I mean, you switch apartments. Again, in that same scenario, if you switch apartments to save $100 rent, you're adding some of those distance, the travel, stuff like that, and you have to go in and pay a new application fee and stuff like that. That $250 that you spend for that application fee, or 50 or whatever it is, might be the deal breaker on is this worth it or not. And your U-Haul and all that stuff, yeah, you might have saved $1,200 on your rent throughout a year, but if it costs you $1,800 between application fee and renting and paying for the gas for all of your move and all this other stuff, was that really worth it? I don't know the answer to that, but again, I just would encourage y'all to keep those things in mind when you're making those decisions, and make sure you're making smart decisions based on the full picture, not just the initial price tag that you see. All right. I think that about does it. Hope that was helpful. I'm going to rock a couple more Rocket League games here. Okay. Make sure that goes through. Sweet. Let's requeue in another game here. These division jumps, like the jump from Plat 1 to Plat 1-4 to Plat 2-1, those always require a couple of extra wins. So I'm kind of like, man, I've won two games already tonight and haven't bumped, but at the same time, I'm probably right on the verge of it. Hopefully we get this one. Get Plat 2 or Diamond 2 and potentially call it a night. Especially not really concerned with going extra time tonight, seeing as how I'm going to have to get back on with Epic Tech support again. Which I want this stuff figured out like yesterday. Right? Hit teammate. Just completely blocked me from that goal. Want this stuff cleared up like a long time ago. Ooh, wow, that was awful. Also not great. Bro. Why did we all just go for that? Okay. Good touch there. That was huge. Ooh, close. Dang it. Should have seen that coming. Cleared around him. At least they didn't score off of it. There's no way, dude. No, he's not pushing up with me. That was a good touch. Go for that. Good block there. Great block there. Ooh, please be there. Set it up for you, buddy. Oh, shoot. That's extremely unexpected. Here. Not there. Got that. Got that. That might have a chance. No. Bummer. Okay. Wow. Here. Hmm. Sort of close. Not really. Oh no. Good bounce. Yep. That was okay. I'm lagging. Why? Oh my goodness. That was the worst possible time that I could have lagged there. Probably mad that I touched that, but I had too bad of an idea. Block. Impossible game to win. All right. I'm going to call it there. I'm not going to get stuck into this. Win one more game and I, time it too. Blah, blah, blah. Not doing it. I'll probably stream a good chunk on Wednesday. Had a lot of fun last week on Harry Potter. Excited for another round of it for sure. So feel free to pop by and check that out if you so choose. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed tonight's stream on associated costs. Hope some of that is helpful, and hope that you, for your own good, implement some of that stuff into your daily, weekly, monthly spending habits. Outside of that, we'll be back not only Wednesday, but also on Friday for another happy hour Team Chug. Speaking of which, Team Chug, another Team Chug session on Friday. In the meantime, I'm going to try to get my disconnect issues with Fortnite figured out. Going to continue to try to get them figured out. Can't last forever, right? Maybe not. But yeah, cool. Right on. Well, hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. And yeah, see you soon.